So, Savjz, welcome to Do You Know Hearthstone?
Thank you.
Because you're one of the OG Hearthstone players, you played competitive for years, if I remember correctly.
I did.
I focused mainly on the sets that you not only provided me, which is from Boomsday Previous, and then just Voyage into the Sunken City, but mainly on cards that you might not have played in competitive Hearthstone.
Okay.
I honestly think that this is a really good test to see if you do know Hearthstone, or at least how much you remember it from these older sets. So when it comes to a card, anything could be changed. It could be the mana cost, the stats, the rarity, the emblem in the back, potentially the art. Virtually anything on the card can be changed.
I'm excited. Like the old me would have been like probably like super good at this, because I used to cast a lot of, like, commentate a lot of the events too, including like BlizzCons and stuff, and I feel like I had a really good grip on all the cards possible and everything, but it's just like it's been a few years in between, and these days, like, if I still remember that stuff, kind of like nervous and excited at the same time.
Actually, almost every single guest says the exact same thing to me, but you're gonna be surprised of how well you remember cards because you've seen them played so many times. Normally, I start with cards. There is something I do, which is giving you a sound of a card, and you're gonna guess to see if you can guess what card that is from. What card is this from? Medic!
Ooh, I definitely recognize that, but I need a moment. That sounds extremely familiar. I feel like I should know this, but it's been so long. No, it's Medic. Oh, it hits itself. It's one of those, like, could it be Injured Blade Master? I think Injured Blade Master, yeah.
Yeah, that is actually entirely correct.
Yes, off to a solid start.
Now we're gonna move on to art. So this is taking a portion of the card's art and seeing if you can guess what card it's from. Did you just play cards and just knew what they did just from the look of the card, or did you actually pay attention to the art?
I'm actually someone who did not pay attention to the art. Like, I'm someone who might, like, 4 years later look at a card and then just like, oh, that's actually not his head. I pay almost like no attention to the art, so I would expect this to be like pretty hard for me.
All of these cards were playable. None of them were like off meta or only played in arena. Every single one of these cards saw playing constructed. I'll give you 2 hints per card if you want it. What card is this from?
Ooh, purple hand. So I'm like starting to think that it might be a warlock card, because they like doing that like the color coding thing. Scroll. I don't think, not based on this.
This is a neutral card.
Oh, okay.
And it is from the classic set.
Classic set. Neutral card from a classic set. I mean, because of like it looks like some kind of like a scroll to me. I would think that it's some kind of like a spell casting mob, maybe. So maybe it's something that has like an ability. The classic cards didn't used to do a whole lot. They were like pretty basic. I don't know. I'm gonna say Young Priestess, but I don't think the coloring is even right.
No, it is not Young Priestess. You're gonna kick yourself for not guessing this one. It is Questing Adventure.
Oh my god. I am kicking myself right now, of course. Like with the yeah. I definitely could have figured that one out. Damn.
What card is this from?
That's definitely not classic set. That's like GVG or Grand Tournament. Is that like the symbols of something?
I get it. I feel like you're gonna kick yourself when you actually see the full card.
Oh my goodness.
But do you want the hints?
Yeah, let's get this suit.
It is a hunter card. It was from One Night in Karazhan.
That narrows it down a lot, but how well can I remember? What type of cards were there? One Night in Karazhan was just an adventure, so it's actually not that many cards. So if I was able to remember all the hunter cards from that, I could narrow it down to probably like 3 or something. I'm not close. I think I was closer on the last one.
So this is Kindly Grandmother.
Ooh. I mean, now that you show me the whole art, I have to say that, like, on this one though, I don't feel like I was that close. So
I'll narrow this one down even more for you. This one is from Voyage into the Sunken City. This card does see play as well.
Okay, I actually think I know this one. Just thinking about, there's anything else? I think it's like it's the warrior card, like the Fires of Shinashi. But let's unlock it in. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. But I'm almost guaranteed that it's like a warrior card. Yeah, let's say Fires of Shinashi.
It is not that card.
I swear it has like some kind of same volcanic type of art.
Do you want to keep guessing with 2 hints, or do you want me to just show it to you?
Oh, if you have hints, let's see that then. If I have another try.
It is a minion, and it is neutral.
Oh, it's a neutral one. Something volcanic, clearly. Oh man, I was so sure. Like the color coding was so like, is there anything volcanic? I'm trying to like think of the card names and everything. Like, what's volcanic enough for this? But I might be on the wrong track too. This one might feel like another debate when you show the full art. I don't think I'll get there.
This is Vicious Slither Spirit. I zoomed in on his shield.
Damn. I have to like look up what does the Fires of Shinashi actually look like. Yeah, I mean, yeah, It's kind of like a little bit like volcanic, like lava, like something. Like,
yeah, I definitely understand. Like a lot of the warrior cards look like this in the set, so I see where you're coming from for sure. Unfortunately, Savjz, you did not get a single one, but it is okay.
those were tough.
I am sure you'll do fantastic on the card. So, Savjz, is this a real card in Hearthstone?
Yeah, but so Master Ceremonies is a real card, but I think you slightly alter it. Battlegrounds, if you have a minion with Inspire, I think it says that if you have a minion with spell power as a condition and not Inspire. Thing is, if you have a minion with spell damage, gain +2/+2.
Exactly what you said. If a minion with spell damage, gain +2/+2.
Okay, yes, nailed it.
This card, if I remember correctly, did not see like any play.
I don't think so either, no.
What about this card?
Shield Defender. Inspire. Give a random friendly minion +1/+1 and taunt. I think this one might be some from like custom Hearthstone or something. This one does not ring a bell. No. This one is not a real card. Final answer.
Yeah, you are correct. This is a fake card.
Yes.
Quick question for you. Would this card see you play in the Grand Tournament?
It could give itself taunt too. And like, yeah, Grand Tournament was like kind of it was a low power set for sure. Like the Inspire mechanic was, it was like super snowbally and pretty weak overall. Because the Inspire cards tended like you need to be able to like hero power on the same turn, or cards just wouldn't do anything. And then even if you do that, then it's just a lot of mana, and next turn it's not going to be there. So the mechanic was pretty weak. I think this would have seen play back then, but if it was printed now, I don't think so.
What about this card?
Twin Emperor Vekler. I think I know what you did there, but I'm not sure. I have this like suspicion because I don't remember actually like which one it was. So it was Twin Emperor Vekler and Twin Emperor Veknilash, and this was a real card, but decent chance that you would have switched it. It was actually the other Twin Emperor. That is the card. Like this was how the Twin Emperors work. It was a 4/6. It was 7 mana, and it made 2 copies. But was it Vekler or Veknilash that summoned the copy? I'm gonna say this is fake. I think you might have swapped it. That it was the other one who summoned it.
So you're basing this purely off the name, right?
Yes, the card itself is like, everything is right. It's just like, which emperor was the one that entered first?
Unfortunately, the name is actually correct, but the effect is wrong.
Oh.
Because it says summon a copy of this minion.
Okay, I was on the wrong track then.
You knew that this summoned a different emperor, so it would have summoned another emperor, not a copy of this one.
I did, okay, so yeah. So, okay, I was like, focused on the wrong detail then. Okay, I was really too caught up on like the name thing. I should just like read the text. I would have probably figured it out.
What about this card?
Shaky Zip Runner. 3 mana 3/3. Give a random beast in your hand +2/+2. Ooh, I think it was a 3 mana 3/3. I think there was a card like this, but Hunter is like one of my least played classes. I have this like suspicion that it may have been like give you a random beast in your hand +3/+3. But I'm not 100% sure about this, but I think it's the best guess that I got. I don't think so. I'm gonna lock in an answer. No, this is it's wrong. It should buff +3/+3.
This card is wrong, but it's not for the reason that you said. Actually just gave a random minion in your hand +2/+2.
Oh, okay.
This card saw literally 0 play, right? If I remember correctly.
I don't think it saw that much. Might have seen a little bit, but I don't think it was like super popular or anything.
What about this card?
Argent Lance. Okay, 2 mana. You reveal a minion in each deck if yours costs more. I do think it was a 2 mana 2/2. I think that's what it did, but is there something different in the wording? Because that was the mechanic. It's like basically the joust mechanic that they had. This did not see any play. If it was like this, would it had actually seen play? There's something off about this. I don't think I got this one, but I'm gonna guess that it was a reveal a card in each deck. If yours costs more, you gain the attack instead of reveal a minion.
So I will say that is actually how the joust mechanic works. If you want to continue guessing this card, I'll let you.
Okay, so if I get another guess, I'm gonna say that it wasn't +1 attack. It was instead +1 durability.
Yeah, so that's actually correct.
Yes! Oh my god! I had to like pause for a bit. Was it really a Fiery War Axe? Like it wasn't. So there was something different, like something on a different flavor.
What about this card?
Subject 9. I think there was a card like there was something like this. They draw 5 secrets. I think 5 mana 4/4. I think there's a small chance if I would even be right, but if you change something, it was like subject like 8 or something. I probably wouldn't be able to tell. Like Like there's a lot of details here that could have been changed. Death Rattle instead of Battle Cry, or if it was actually not a beast. I'm gonna say this one is right, because it's almost like so many things about this look like, oh, there's no way that's a real card. There's like a lot of things, but I don't think you changed anything.
So unfortunately, it's actually wrong. It draws 5 different secrets from your deck. This card was very popular. Subject 8 made me laugh out loud though.
I mean, I wouldn't have been able to like tell really.
What about this card?
I think I know this one. I think it required, there's something in the wording. I think it was that you needed to have all 4 like different totems. You need to have like 1 of each. I don't remember the exact wording. Based on the wording that's right now on the card, you could have like four healing totems, but I don't think that was the case. I have this like memory that you need to have 1 of each. My answer is that this is not correct. It was maybe like all 4 totems or like 1 of each totem.
Yeah, you are correct. It is if you control all 4 basic totems, you summon Alakir the Windlord. What about this card?
Authority Lightbait. This one is in standard right now. This is from the latest set. It is definitely something like that. After you cast a holy spell on this, cast it again. It does duplicate the spell, but there might be some detail that you changed here. I feel like you might have done some kind of swap in here. Or maybe it wasn't the Naga. There's some kind of like detail that I feel like did it have to be a holy spell after you cast a holy spell? I'm trying to like track down which detail could it be. 2 mana, 2/3. Yeah, that's correct for sure. It is a paladin card. That is the name. I never like noticed that it's a Naga, but like when I look at the art, yeah, I guess it is. I'm gonna just believe that it's a Naga. I'm gonna say that this one is wrong. After you cast a holy spell on another minion, cast it again on this.
The effect is actually correct. It's not a Naga.
It's not a Naga. Damn it! So one of the first things that I was thinking of, but then I was looking at the art like, I guess it is a Naga after all.
I was going through the set this morning to see what cards to pick, and I looked at this card like, wait, it's not a Naga? There's no way he doesn't know that.
I was like, wait, is this really a Naga?
All right, what about this card?
Bargain of Light. If this minion has 3 or more attack and total lives. This doesn't seem right. There's something is not right. Could one of the effects be? I'm thinking what could possibly be wrong. Was it taunt and lifesteal? What if it was like, because the paladins usually get like divine shield. Another thing that I'm thinking about this, because this is from like, I think this is an older card. I kind of suspect that back in the day, hand buffing wasn't really a thing. There were expansions, hand buffing was a thing. But I'm not convinced that this is from one of those hand buff expansions. I don't think this one was played. But I think the card is right, but it was actually not a battle cry. Final answer, it was not a battle cry.
You're actually correct. The correct wording on this was, well, this minion has 3 or more attacks.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yes. Ooh, got there.
And to give you more context on this, you said like hand buffing. So the last hand buffing, I believe, for Paladin was Mean Streets. And this card was released on the Witchwood, which means Mean Streets just rotated out. What about this card?
Nether Spite Historian. Battle cry, if you're holding a dragon, discover a dragon. This is a card that I played a lot. I played it a lot in Priest. Like, it was a very common, like when in the era of like the 5-6. It's in standard again, but like Dragon Priest is not really a thing. But like in that era, like when that card was super powerful and dragons in Priest were powerful, like this was a core inclusion. But did you change something about this? You're holding a dragon, discover a dragon. I think that sounds right to me. Or is it? Did you have to have a dragon on board? No, I think it was in hand. What about the stat line? Was it could it have been like a 1/4? 1, 2, 3. It was absolutely 2 mana. It was 2 mana. I remember this was a 2-drop. And it was a neutral as well. I have like a suspicion that it might have changed something, but I can't spot it. I'm not spotting it right now. So I'm gonna say that this card is correct. Final answer.
This card is actually correct.
Yes!
I have 2 separate folders. I have the fake cards and the real cards. I actually dragged the real card into here.
Show me the fake one.
The real difference was that the emblem in the back is One Night in Karazhan. I put it as Black Rock Mountain because that's when the dragons were really there. I gotta make sure I'm dragging from the right folder here.
Wicked Stab. That's what the god does. Like, it's deal 2 damage, 2 mana. Upgrades when you have 5 mana. Then it deals 4 damage. And then at 10 mana, it deals 6 damage. But is there something with the wording or something that you change? There might be something different with the wording, but I'm not spotting it. I'm gonna say that this card is right.
The effect is correct. Everything is correct. I actually removed one part of the card though. Ooh. There is a rank associated with the name. So this would have been rank 1 Wicked Stab. When you look at the card now, it looks kind of weird, right? Like Wicked Stab is moved over.
But that's the type of thing that I just kind of like don't pay attention to, I suppose. Been playing a lot of like Mage lately with like Flurry and stuff, and it definitely does have the rank thing.
What about this card?
Lesser Mithril Spellstone. So the card itself is definitely like, it is like real, like there is a card that was doing this. It did summon 5/5s, and it did upgrade when you played weapons. I also think it was 7 mana. I think that's correct. Was Warrior. Was this the name of the card? Mithril Spellstone? Was it something else? It was one of the less popular ones. The Hunter one was played a lot. Priest one, which it was like 7 mana resurrects. But unfortunately, I played those ones way more than this one, so I'm not like, I don't remember this one super well. It was bad. Wait a minute, I might be on to something. Did all of the Spellstones have different mana costs? And I know the Priest one was 7. I might be totally on the wrong track here. I'm gonna say this card had actually a mana cost of 6 and not 7.
This is a real card.
Oh, close.
I thought for sure you had that.
I was like, maybe it could have been 6.
At this point, people start getting into their own heads.
Yeah, it might be. I'm just like overthinking it now. Like,
You were on the right track, and then all of a sudden you had like an epiphany.
no! Avalanche. Deal 3 damage to a minion and freeze the adjacent one. Ooh, I think I know this one. Was it 4 mana? I do remember a card like this. It had been like 3 mana and 3 mana deal 3. I think it may have been deal 4 and freeze the adjacent ones. But that part is correct. It was like a unique enough effect that I'm like pretty confident that it did not freeze the actual target of this. I'm gonna say that it was deal 4 damage and freeze the adjacent ones.
You are incorrect. Fact was actually reversed.
Oh, it was?
Freeze a minion and deal 3 damage to the adjacent ones.
Okay. So it was a really unique card.
What about this card?
Karakazam. Summon a 1/1 candle, 2/2 broom, and 3/3 teapot. I think I might know what you did here, because I think the brooms were the one. I think the 1/1 was the broom. I think it was summon a 1/1 broom, 2/2 candle, and a 3/3 teapot.
Fortunately, the card is actually correct.
Oh, it is. Damn it, because they made like the rush broom as well. Like that's a 1-mana 1/1, right?
Oh, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think for at least for the stats, looking at the art, the candle's the smallest. Now that you said animated broomstick, I understand where you're coming from. What about this card?
Loose Specimen. Deal 6 damage randomly split among all other. Feels like it could kind of like fit in with the Boomsday project, like having something like this. Was this a real card? First instinct when you showed me this was I've never seen it before. Now I'm like starting to think that maybe it was a real card. It was just so bad that it wasn't played ever. Back in the day, they used to have like bad legendaries too. The card is like it's honestly like, it's pretty awful. Like you don't really want to play this. They were bad cards. Like this would never get made today, I think. I'm gonna go with my first instinct though. This is from like Custom Hearthstone. I'm gonna say that this is not a real card.
It is a real card.
Oh!
It is from the it's
from the Boomsday. No! It's just like I just wasn't sure enough because oh man.
So the only difference of this card is that it was actually just a beast. It wasn't even like an amalgam.
It was even worse.
This card was unplayable, if I remember correctly, in the Boomsday, like you said, and even in an arena, this card is pretty bad.
My other answer would have also been a wrong one because I would have said that it's a real one. I was not like gonna spot the beast tag change.
What about this one?
Sintragosa. 8 mana, 8 Battlecry, summon 2 frozen champions. Definitely not a made up card. It did summon 2 frozen champions. I also remember the effect that it was a death rattle, put a random legendary in your hand. This was a really fun card. Art is right, the name is right, it is a dragon, it is an 8/8, it's also a mage card. And then I think the mana cost is right too, because what you used to do with this card is you hero power your own frozen champions, because like your opponent isn't really like interested in killing them. The frozen champions had a death rattles. I'm kind of like thinking out loud here. Could it have been the summon 2 frozen champions with death rattle? Because they did have that. Would it have been mentioned in the card? I'm like between that. I'm between like that it's either the card is correct or it's that summon 2 0/1 frozen champions with death rattle. I'm gonna say that this card is wrong. It was summon 2 0/1 frozen champions with death rattle.
The text is actually correct. The difference between the text though is that the name of the things that it would summon is actually frozen champions, where the frozen is bolded would mean an effect, not the name of the card that is summoned. So frozen should not be bolded.
Oh.
Don't remember if the 0/1, no, they're not even, the 0/1s are not even frozen. Normally in Hearthstone, the bolded keyword, there is a bolded keyword frozen.
Oh, yeah, I got that. Okay, I was like, I didn't understand what you meant at first. Yeah, that's right. I knew that they're not actually frozen, but I didn't pay attention to that. Wow. Yeah, now that you mentioned that makes perfect sense. Wow, you tricked me there. You tricked me good, man.
What about this card?
Baba Naga. 4/4 Naga. Does it do 4 damage? When I look at that card, I'm just like, I think it deals 3 damage. Everything else seems right. I'm gonna say this card is wrong. The Battlecry deals 3 damage and not 4.
Yeah, you're correct. At 3 damage, I don't think it sees play in constructed.
No, it does not. It does not.
At 4 damage, yeah, I think you're right. I think it actually would see a lot more play.
Yeah, it would kind of make sense too, like flavor-wise, like 4, right?
What about this card?
Discharge machine. That is, okay, that's not a real card. Your hero got 0 upload. That's a really cool card though. I don't remember this. I don't. I mean, it could be that like it was a bad card that I just didn't play, and like there's some detail change, like maybe it wasn't the taunt or something. But I'm gonna say that this one is not real.
Yeah, you're correct. It is a custom card.
It's pretty cool though.
Yeah, thank God I muted my mic fast enough because you made me burst out laughing when you said the name. I don't know if this card would see play as a 4-mana 3/6. It might have to be a little cheaper.
No, like Overlord 2 is quite a bit as well.
But this is your very last card.
Last card, Wicked Skeleton. 4-mana 1/1, gain +1/+1 for each friendly minion that died this game. There was something like this. Was its name Wicked Skeleton? Was it friendly minions? Could it have been something like gain +1/+1 for each minion that died this game? So it would count the opponent's minions too. But then again, if it did that, it might actually be a pretty good card. And I don't think this saw play. It could have also been like a rare card, maybe. I'm looking at like the common. Because the common cards tend to have like very basic like abilities and not that much text and stuff. That's like a pretty long text box for a common card. I might be wrong, but I'm gonna go with that. The card is correct, except that it was not a common card. It was actually a rare card.
Okay, so the card is not correct. The effect is slightly different. It's gain +1/+1 for each minion that died this turn.
That actually makes sense that now that you show me the real one.
Yeah, I think if it was the one that I showed you, it'd be one of the best cards in the set.
Yeah, it would actually probably be pretty good, yeah. So
that is all the card Savjz. I don't really do like points for this. This is just more for fun. So I hope you ended up having fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Like I think you had a lot of like really tricky questions. I think I did like decent at least.
Yours was actually one of the more tricky ones because I started to get a little bit more clever when I was making these cards.
A lot of these cards are from like a really long time ago, so I'm not like too ashamed to like not remember an 8-year-old card or something, like every detail about it.